are questions submitted from our viewers.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Mm.
um, why did you want to build a pole barn instead of a regular house?
Good
Traditional
question.
house.
Good question, whoever submitted that. I wanted to build a barn because it's cheap and easy, goes up quickly. Has no limitations on the inside. Fewer limitations on the outside, meaning there's a post and a truss, and you could put windows or doors or wherever you want. So it's not like a traditional house where you have to kind of overframe everything. Mostly cheap, quick, easy.
Easy. A one-man job with a little help.
Oof. Not a one-man job. No,
No?
definitely not.
Practically a one-man job.
What about you? Why did you go along with my barn idea?
Well, cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could build our dream much quicker this way, but also, I like the idea of taking a non-traditional building and making it into a home. It's kind of rustic. I love that look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why, plus I always say yes to you.
Always. Excuse me. Why is the name of your channel Why Minnesota?
Oh, yes. You know what? Today, people were asking me why Minnesota. So that's why people keep asking. When we were in Oregon, everybody said, why would you move to Minnesota? Why Minnesota? Even people who really like Minnesota were saying, why Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
But then, when we got here, everybody we met was asking us, who is from Minnesota and who loves Minnesota, asking us, why did you move to Minnesota? And I guess we didn't get that question. When I moved to Portland originally, nobody said, why did you move to Portland? They said, of course you moved to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't seem to move here. In fact, I think that's the one really big difference for me living in Duluth versus Portland is that almost everybody that I knew in Portland was from somewhere else.
Mm.
But here so far, almost everyone I've met is from Duluth, and if they're not from Duluth, they're from somewhere in Minnesota.
Yeah. I would say the reason I wanted to name it that, especially with the question mark exclamation point, is I can only think of two people who, when I said we were moving to Minnesota, they said, oh, nice, or, ooh, I like Minnesota. Hands down, everyone said, ooh, why Minnesota? It's so cold, it's so buggy. Why would you want to move there? So, I think that's why I wanted to name the channel that. The answer is, why did we pick Minnesota? Why did we pick Minnesota?
Why did we pick Minnesota? Well, we both wanted to move because we wanted a big change, right?
Both tired of Portland.
Yeah, tired of Portland. I think both of us, even though we'd lived in Portland for a long time, enjoy living in other places. But yeah, I needed to move. If I were going to move away from Oregon, it had to be somewhere that funds education well. And Minnesota really does a nice job of that. So that was my number one priority. Other than that, I don't think I had... maybe somewhere where we can enjoy nature. But I think other than that, I don't think I had much criteria.
Yeah, I only lived in the West, and I wanted to live someplace not in the West. and I like Midwestern people. And I wanted to move someplace that was cold, which I think, yeah, we're going to get a taste of that pretty soon. Maybe in like 15 minutes.
Right, because it's August and it feels like it's turning into fall.
Yeah, the leaves aren't falling, but it's getting a little chilly at night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why we chose Minnesota. And that's why we chose to name the channel. Why Minnesota?
But also, why not Minnesota?
Why not?
Why not?
But that is a good point. A few places I've moved, no one ever said, oh, why would you move there? It was like, oh, neat, or oh, that's cool, or oh, I like that place, or.
Oh.
All right.
My turn?
Yep.
All right. What has been your least favorite part of this project so far?
Least favorite.
Least favorite.
There's so many least favorites. How am I going to pick just one? That's not true. I would say hand digging the holes, trimming up the holes to get them in the right spot. I mean, even using the Bobcat with the auger was a lot of work, but those few days it took to
That was rough.
to finish the holes, it was grim.
And it had that feeling of we weren't sure how long it was going to take because it kept filling up again.
Yeah, with the filling up with water and sort of sloughing off and falling back into the hole, that was.
Yeah. But we also had that deadline,
That was tough.
so we couldn't take our time. We had to be moved pretty quickly.
Right, we had to schedule the concrete and the pumper, so
Yeah.
kind of had a hard time.
Poor Malcolm. Sorry, Malcolm.
We miss you, Malcolm. Do you have a well and septic system?
Wait, I get to answer what's my least
Oh,
favorite
sorry.
part.
I thought you were chiming in on.
No.
Oh, okay.
My
What?
least favorite part
Oh.
by far
Uh-oh.
is the roof. I'm happy to have that roof going on, and I don't even do very much. I'm not involved very much in that roof, but I hate it when you're up there. I hate it so much. And then I really hate when I have to climb up one of those ladders. It's 13 feet at the lowest point and 19 feet at the highest. That's way too high for me. I hate it. I can't even look at you when you're up there. It
Yeah,
gives me anxiety.
Carmen gets stressed out. I get stressed out. It's not that steep, but it's just.
And the way that we get the roof panels up, I mean, I guess you'll see that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. Do you have a well and septic system?
We do have a well. We do not have a
True.
septic.
That's true.
Can we use our well?
We haven't yet.
We haven't decided. We haven't figured it out. You need to tell them about the well.
It's a hand dug well. It's not compliant. It's probably not drinkable. The problem is it's not sealed off from groundwater. So in order to really use a well for drinking water, it has to be sealed from runoff from the ground. And this well is about 25 feet deep. It's got plenty of water in it. But just the way the casing is, it's not sealed, and we get conflicting information. Not surprisingly, the well company said no, need to drill a well. Other people, neighbors, other people in the community say, well, try it out, pump it out a few times and have it tested. It might be fine. So
There might be a few dead animals, but that's okay.
yeah, right. One guy said, just suck up all the dead animals that are in the bottom and throw a bunch of bleach in there, and you'll probably be fine. So we haven't really done anything with our existing well.
Yeah.
What about the septic?
The septic, so first, I'm going to build the shell of the barn, then winterize the camper, then septic. But we have to make sure we have it in the budget.
Yeah. We actually had to pay someone to design the septic system to get a septic permit in order to get a building permit. So we've already contracted with a guy to do the work, And he said he could do the work practically any time of the year. So the county gives you 2 years to do it once you pull the permit. But we would maybe like to move forward with that if we can, just so we have something to do with our waste in the winter.
Yeah, we haven't quite figured that out yet.
As far as drinking water, well, cut to that video. We are here to get our water at our fresh water source. Fresh water. So they say. We're not really sure. We've been drinking it all week, so hopefully it's okay. How do you feel, Carmen? Water's okay?
I love it. It's delicious.
That's probably enough filter. Okay, next.
All right. Well, my next question. So your least favorite. Now, what's your favorite part been so far?
Well, I did kind of like cutting down a bunch of trees and tearing up all the old foundation. It was not a lot of hard work, but it was 2 things that we hadn't planned on doing, so that was kind of exciting when you have to do things you hadn't planned for. And for me, it kind of made it more, maybe not exciting, but made it more, I don't know, made it seem more real, I guess. Clearing the land to build something from scratch. I mean, I really do love the framing part of it, which was a lot of fun. Sort of drags on a bit, but it had been a while since I had my framing hammer out and was driving framing nails by hand. But I like that part of it. Yeah.
I suppose like cutting down those trees was immediate too, man. It made such an impact.
Yeah, it's quick. What about you? What's your favorite part?
My
Besides buying the camper.
favorite part. Besides, that was my favorite
let me guess.
part.
Getting internet. No.
My favorite part about building the pole barn right now would probably be putting up the side panels. I'm looking at it right now. It's very cool.
It looks great.
And I'm excited that, I mean, it's one thing to choose colors, but when you actually look at them in real life, to like it still.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you paint your house and you pick a color and you think it's a good color, but then when it's all over your whole house, you go, ooh, maybe that's not the right color.
And we can't just paint this. This is forever.
Yeah, this is not like painting, but I think Carmen picked all the colors. I think she did a great job. Where do you shower and go to the bathroom?
Well, where do you shower and go to the bathroom? That seems very personal.
Definitely separate places.
We take showers at a little gym that's attached, that it's inside the high school, the local high school here. And way back when we first bought this land, I looked up because I knew I need a shower. So I looked up and it's super close. I think it's a mile away.
It's probably like 3 miles, but it's close.
maybe 3 miles.
It's close.
And they have a lovely facility, and no one's ever in there.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
a
get
small gym.
Yeah. No one's ever in the showers,
Yeah,
in the
the
bathrooms.
changing rooms are totally separate from the high school, and it's actually a very nice little spot.
Yeah.
And we manage to shower twice a week, which probably terrifies a lot of people.
Maybe as I start
Coming up on 3 months,
right.
it's okay.
Maybe as I'm working more, maybe I'll shower more.
Yeah, that goes
They
for
just
that
started
probably
back to
goes,
work, back
probably
to
goes
school.
for both of us. Probably more showering.
People appreciate that.
Yeah.
That. The bathroom.
Bathroom, well,
Ooh,
yeah,
it's my not so
I
favorite
shot a
part.
picture of that. We'll show you that. We haven't figured out what we're going to do this winter exactly, but right now we have a solution, and it's close. We'll put it that way. We don't have to drive 3 miles to use the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yes.
In fact, I'd have to say I don't think I've ever used the bathroom at the gym.
All right.
You got any more?
Ooh, I have one more question.
Okay.
It might be a trick question
Ooh,
because I
trick.
don't know.
I'm
All right.
worried.
How many windows are we putting in? And you can't sit and count them. How many
Okay.
windows? Oh no.
Probably
3, 2, 1.
11?
No.
13?
No. Way off. Way
Oh.
off. Way off. So off.
15?
We're putting in 19
Oh,
windows.
jeez. I
And
was way off.
19. If you count the windows that will be in the doors, it'll be 23 windows.
Wow, you really spent some time on this.
Yeah.
Does that include the garage door?
Oh my gosh, I forgot the garage door.
It does.
That's
What is that, 2 windows? What did we pick? 2 windows?
yeah.
Wow.
So
That's a lot
including
of-
all the doors, including the garage door, 24
That's
25 windows.
That's a lot of windows.
Oh man, it's gonna look great.
None of those windows are going to be going in this year. We picked the windows, we framed for the windows, but
We'll have windows in the garage doors and
Yeah.
windows in the man door of the garage.
that's it. No windows this year. It's going to be very dark in the morning,
A little dark cave.
especially in January when there's like 4 hours of sunlight. Here's an easy one. Are the bugs bad?
Wow, the bugs were so bad in June. Not bugs, mosquitoes. Mosquitoes were so bad in June, and I just remember itching like crazy. But now we're sitting out here right now. It's
And I'm the only one that's swatting.
it's true. They like
I
you
think
more.
Carmen's becoming immune to the bugs.
But it's what time is it? Almost 6. And the
Yeah.
bugs are. I mean, you've had a couple on you, but you're not being totally swarmed.
Yeah, early on, the first month, it was brutal. And they would get in the camper and they would torment us all night.
Yeah.
Now, I'd have to say there's a lot more bugs, I think, but a lot fewer mosquitoes.
Yeah. But nothing. I mean, beautiful bugs. We have dragonflies. We
Yeah,
have fireflies.
Very interesting bugs.
And amazing butterflies, all different varieties, including monarch.
These very large flying beetle bugs
they're
with
s-
really long, they look like dinosaurs.
I feel like I've seen 4 different kinds of bees.
Yeah, I would say there are a lot more bugs, a lot more bug diversity here than in Portland.
Bug diversity.
Bug diversity. Also, a lot more birds.
A lot more birds. Yeah.
Do you want to read one of these, or you want to come up with another one?
Nope.
Just make one up. How do you like living in a small town? I think a lot of people think we live in a small town.
Is Duluth a small town? Is that what you're talking about, Proctor?
Well, yeah. Why don't you talk about that?
So
'Cause technically we live in Duluth.
we live in Duluth, which has about
86,000.
86,000. And then, but we live right next to a tiny town called Proctor. I thought I've always disliked having to drive far to get places, but right now it feels really worth it to drive
And
out here and to be in our woods.
And I feel like it's not even that far. I mean, we can be in downtown Duluth in less than 15
It's true.
minutes.
It's true, especially as quiet it is as it, well, maybe not quiet, as remote as it feels out here.
It definitely is rural out here. It's farmland and forest, and most houses are on 20-acre parcels, although ours isn't, but it feels small. And we have small town very close. That's where the high school is, where we shower, and there's a hardware store and a couple of restaurants and a laundromat. So if we need to go places,
There are places
yeah,
that are
they're
really close.
really close. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But Duluth has everything that we would need.
yeah. I mean,
right?
Duluth has a Walmart. What else do you need?
Oh my gosh, strike that out. We don't go to Walmart. Not that there's any, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Not our favorite.
Duluth has a lot. So I don't feel like we're living in a small town.
No.
How will you stay warm this winter?
Killing me. I don't know. I was in a meeting the other day, and everybody was talking about how sweating hot it was in that room, and I wanted to take my scarf and put it back on. It was so not warm, so I'm worried about that. I guess layers.
What about life in the camper? The
Oh.
plan is to put the camper in the barn for the winter, but
I think we can keep the camper warm. I've done enough
Herman's
research
done
on
exhaustive research
Yeah,
on how to
it'll be cold.
winterize a camper.
but I imagine we'll be cold.
The barn is really only going to provide protection from wind and snow. It's not going to be insulated, so
Yeah.
it's not really going to help. It's not going to. It might be like 2 degrees warmer than outside.
Great. Or maybe sometimes colder than outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't
I
know,
guess
we'll
to
find
answer
out.
that question, how are we going to stay warm? We're not really sure.
I don't even have a winter coat.
Ooh,
Gotta get on that. Or
yeah.
I might have some boots in
You're probably going to need to get some galoshes. I hope.
there. Galoshes.
Okay, so that's all the questions that we have.
Right.
Keep them coming. I'm trying to talk Carmen into doing this every 10th episode. Just a little sit-down chat.
Every 10th episode.
This is episode 10. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Can you tell she's not too excited about doing it? But as long as you guys keep writing in the questions, we'll keep answering them. So
Yeah.
thanks for following us on our journey,
Yes.
and hopefully this actually recorded.